What's good, YouTube? Manectric here, and welcome to expert battle number 3 of 5 for Mega Shine expansion. In this video, we'll be taking down what I'd consider to be the toughest solo battle of this set in Mega Manectric EX with a deck of only water type Pokemon. What makes this deck so tough is by far its speed. Any combination of Zero Aura, E-Switch, and either stage 1 Pokemon in the deck is a situation we can't really handle given our limitations of water only and the card pool that we have access to at the time of this recording. However, if they so much as miss any part of that combination, be it no Zera or they didn't evolve into Jolteon, just to name a few examples, because like the E-Switch sometimes matters, sometimes doesn't. We want our deck to be crafted in a way that takes full advantage of that consistently. Things I'd like to note before we get into the deck that we'll be using is that I want to point out that they do not play Sabrina, so the only way they could actually attack your bench is a combination of like Jolteon's ping plus Cyrus. Most of the time you're just swinging head on until they knock out that Pokemon and then you follow it up. Hopefully, like that's ideally the way you do it, and you're able to close it out after that. Also, they have a hiking trail as a stadium, so we have to be mindful of when and how we use any stadiums of our own. As I mentioned already, this deck is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, solo battle from this set. So when it comes to taking it down, I decided to use a slightly modified version of a Meta Titan in Suicune Baxcalibur. There are many reasons as to why this deck is the one I went with. I do believe Suicune Greninja, despite the weakness to lightning, is also very capable of beating Manectric, especially with Greninja EX being able to two-shot Manectric while tanking even the strongest swing from Manectric. However, we barely have to worry about weakness in this case because neither Baxcalibur nor Chien-Pao, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, have lightning weaknesses. The idea here is simple: lead Suicune, find Baxcalibur, and win the point trade so that Manectric's 140 swing doesn't come into play. Double Cape, Ice Pop, Irida, and Plains are all meant to keep Suicune out of Jolteon's range of damage, and if it comes down to it, Plains keeps Chien-Pao out of Manectric's 140, while Cape keeps both Baxcalibur and Chien-Pao out of that same range. And as previously mentioned, no Sabrina in their deck makes it where as long as we keep the active outside of either Jolteon's attacks or Manectric's attacks, we are probably fine. Vote is to get Suicune into play, whether it's to Frigibax, again, I struggle with the pronunciations, or Chien-Pao. The boat allows you to retreat for free and bring out Suicune as early as turn 1, and you start drawing and getting to your pieces. And then the other card that I haven't mentioned yet is our own Sabrina. Well, they're not playing one, so us playing Sabrina, which has two major roles in the deck. One is either finishing out the game by bringing out something from the back that we can knock out easier than whatever's in front of us, and more importantly, it also pushes Jolteon outside of the, away from the active, so that we're able to charge up our Pokemon without taking any damage. Cards that didn't make the cut but could be worth considering include the Poncho, so that we could charge Pokemon in the backline without taking damage. However, since Bax charges the front, I felt like maybe the Poncho was a little too niche, and the other card is Copycat, as it obviously increases consistency and you see more cards and you can find Baxcalibur, or you can find anything that you're missing more consistently with cards like Copycat in the deck. However, I felt like prioritizing healing was more important. Thus, I basically banked on Suicune's draws being enough to get me there. So with that, I'll leave y'all with some gameplay showing how the matchup should ideally play out. Best of luck with your attempts. Please consider subscribing if this video helped you whatsoever. And above all else, stay pro. Alright, going first. I'm here like against, like if I didn't know. Alright, honestly though, going first is really good. Unless they don't have Zero Aura, and then at any point them not having Zero Aura is probably best case scenario. We'll see right here. Moment of truth. That could be tough. If they have Jolteon here, it'll be also kind of rough. They have Fridge already. I'm gonna go Pokeball first because we really want to find Rare Candy in this situation. Rare Candy or any healing as well. Although starting Plains is decent here. There's the Rare Candy and Cape. Perfect. Alright, so go here. Honestly, if they miss Jolteon, it's huge. If they don't, if they don't miss Jolteon, I might actually hold the Plains here. Let's put down. Well, Cape for sure goes down. The question is, do I put Plains or not? Because they do have Copycat. That's like the thing I'm thinking of playing around. Because we'll be at 4 cards in hand if we put Plains. The only issue is that if we put Plains in there at 70, we're not guaranteed to have enough damage as follow-up. So I'll risk it. Unfortunately, I'll risk it. Okay, boat. They do have Jolteon, so if they Copycat, we got punished. Sort of, you know, in theory. It is what it is. Again, not the worst. because we found the cape, but it's not too good either. So let's see. Hiking trail. Okay, so there's a, I guess, a positive to keeping the planes in hand. Actually, I forgot about trails when deciding whether to put planes or not. I forgot about playing around their stadium. All right, Irida is huge. Okay, really good spot here. Let's go. Let's evolve. There's a world where we would have kept the trail, because we would have drawn 2 cards, right? Yeah. Oh no, because Suicune draws first, actually. Let's go here. We technically don't even use Irida here, only because we have both the planes and the cape. They're only gonna do 100, so we could actually hold Irida, which I will do. I mean, we could also hold that. Let's just go for 100 damage here. If we could draw Chien-Pao or find Chien-Pao, that'd be really good. We got research, that's decent. Not bad. I keep clicking 8 cards in deck. Is what I kept on trying to click on. Okay. Manectric. I would usually say, oh, we don't have to worry about Manectric, but we do have to. Actually, not really. We have some time. Let's see. Sabrina. Sabrina would take out. If we had Chien-Pao, I wouldn't mind Sabrina, but let's go here. Chien-Pao. Oh. Alright, so I guess we could force a Cyrus from them. Which high key, if they end up having the Cyrus, I don't know what we do then, but yeah, the issue with giving them points is that once Manectric gets too strong, it's a problem. Let's go here, get the knockout. And now there's multiple ways we could get the cards we need exactly. Okay, so that's they for sure have. I'm losing the name now. The E-Switch. And there's the Chien-Pao. So all we need right now actually is the rare candy to get Chien-Pao from. Oh, they went. Okay, they don't have the Cyrus. That's huge. That's huge because Suicune does not get knocked out this turn. Because the E-Switch was guaranteed. My fear was that they got the knockout and then Manectric starts swinging for way too much damage. But at this point, it's GG's. There's nothing they could do. Not to mention that we just, you know, Sabrina. And get rid of the backline. So that was a lot easier. Again, going first matters, especially if there's Zero Aura, because if they're going first and they have Zero Aura, they get too aggressive. Essentially, us having the rare candy backs makes it like our own version of Zero Aura. The healing is very important. There's a reason why we're playing so much healing. But as always, we do multiple examples. So let's jump to example number 2. All right, going second in example number 2. Let's see if we could pull it off. How do I say? As long as they don't have Zero Aura, we're kind of, and then it's like 3 Pokemon down. The chances none of those are Zero Aura is very low. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Eevee. Okay, and just like that. Kind of like there's something to play for here. One last chance at dodging. Okay, never mind. Well, okay, no Jolteon. That's actually huge. Rare candy without anything to give it to. Let's just put energy down. No need for cape just yet. Again, the fear of copycat is real. Which I guess, with that in mind, we could go cape and put. Yeah, let's put them down. Cape and boat. I might regret it later, because you kind of need HP on this. Like a Cape on Pao could survive Manectric later on, but making their copycat worse is definitely ideal. Another Suicune, can't do much with that. Found research, that's okay. Manectric, also okay. Pokeball. I'm just like, at this point, just don't have Jolteon, right? That's what we're hoping for. X speed. Are they gonna do X speed into Zoroark? That's crazy. I mean, Zoroark, Zeraora. That's crazy because they don't play Cord, so they're gonna be down to no energy here. Well, clearly because we see that we have the basic, right? Starting planes. Tempting, but tempting, but they do play hiking trail. So we have incentive not to. Also, if we put starting planes, we can't knock out Zero. So actually, let me catch myself before I finish that sentence. Yeah. So 2 reasons. 1, we wouldn't have been able to knock out Zero, making it the turn horrendous. And 2, if they just hiking trail over it, then we're in a really tough spot. Right, Pokeball, so that's Bax. Okay, we got the baby Bax guaranteed. We already have Rare Candy. We just need Baxcalibur. And actually, at this point, based on first how they played it, second of all how we were able to follow up and stuff, we are way too far ahead for any of this to matter. Everything's coming together now. Let's go here. Energy. And the reason we're able to do that with no fears because Irida's going to bring us right back to full and put Suicune outside of the range of Jolteon. And this was actually, so maybe, actually no, it's just they played it really weird. We didn't even need to put planes down just yet. Just deal 100 here, and no matter where this Jolteon goes, we're just chain power next turn. We have all the pieces, they have no hand disruption. Game's over, that's it. So yeah, maybe going second is a lot better. Like maybe the opponent just doesn't know how to play going first. I mean, yeah, going first. Where also they didn't see Jolteon. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But that's things that are like out of my control. And what I mean by that is like, not every attempt is gonna be as easy as this one that I just had. As you saw, we kind of had to fight for it a little bit more last time in the first example. In practice, the Zeraora leads did tend to be tough to win, which is why I initially believed if they go first with a Zeraora on the board, we're kind of cooked. But there's, I guess, a lot of things that go into play. Like, if they don't have Jolteon, maybe the Zeraora doesn't matter. But maybe if they don't have Zeraora, then Jolteon doesn't matter. And, like, if they're missing any part of the puzzle, it makes it that much better for us. But then we could be missing part of the puzzle. So, at least with these 2 examples and the deck explanation at the beginning, hopefully y'all got an idea / see that it's possible to beat this with a water-only deck. Especially with one as competitive and as strong as Suicune Baxcalibur. With that, thank y'all for watching. The next 2 should be up more recently. I got kind of caught up with like Easter weekend. By the end of the week, we should have the other 2 battles. With that, thank you for supporting me. Best of luck with your attempts, and above all else, stay pro.